I am so done with all of these psyops. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. Let's talk about it today on the Shaman Patrick Show. Let's go.
He was once a storm in human form, sharp tongue, cold soul, heart worn and torn, living like a ghost who missed his grave till the spirit sang out and called him brave. He got rewired by the great unknown, heard the call like a dial tone to the bone. So pull up a chair, enjoy the glow. This is the Shaman Patrick Show.
The only real news thing that I keep up with, or was keeping up with, was the Charlie Kirk assassination thing. And, you know, when it first happened, I was like, oh shit. Then I was like, really? And then I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, you expect me to believe this horse shit? And I was following Candace Owens' investigation about it all. And every day she was bringing up some new piece of fuckery, some new piece of this. Like, what the hell is going on? And it all was just pretty neat and clean. And you haven't heard about this or that. It's just like, okay, well, let's move on. Let's move on. We're just going to pretend that a man did not get shot and killed in a bunch of people. We're just going to stop asking questions. But, you know, Candace Owens kept asking questions, and she knew Charlie personally. And she was like, why isn't everybody else just as concerned as me to get to the bottom of this? And, you know, I've told Merrick, you know, Candace is probably part of the operation to reveal truths about stuff. But last night, you know, her show went on a hiatus for 2 weeks and we didn't watch it. And that was kind of like our opportunity. Like, let's just disconnect from the news altogether. Let's just get the hell away from this shit, because it's all ops. It's all psychological operations. Everything on the news is a psychological operation. So I know this. Nothing on the news is true. It doesn't, if the truth does not make it through to you via the news, it can't. The truth comes like a download. It's like, oh. But man, what did Bill Hicks say? Watching television is like putting black spray paint over your third eye. If you're watching the news, you don't know shit. You don't. But this Charlie Kirk thing was so absurd, so dumb, that when Candace's show came back, she was talking about the fuckery again. Like, this is weird. This is strange. This is weird. And last night we were having dinner and we were watching it. And then I just turned to my husband. I'm like, I'm done with psyops. I'm done with that. And I no longer care about this. And I turned it off. And I'm going to tell you, you know, there was a part of me that used to want to know what was going on. Now, I'm not saying that psychological operations are bad. I'm not judging psychological operations, because in some cases, they might even be necessary. They might even be necessary. Because I kind of take that non-dual approach to all of this. It might be necessary to brainwash a population. Somebody said, well, you know, the government puts all the drugs on the street and that the government is behind drug addiction. And I was like, that's terrible. Why would the government do that? What would be the benefit of that? Well, the people on drugs right now, all the addicts and the alcoholics, they're the ones who are spiritually gifted. They're the ones who are spiritually aware, and they need all those drugs. Otherwise, if all those people were just to get sober overnight, society would collapse. So I think that it's a slow rollout of consciousness. Hello, here comes a little bit of consciousness over here. Here comes a little bit of consciousness over here, because somebody has to know what the fuck is going on a level, like on a high level. I've heard that only less than 10 people know in the government what's really going on. Less than 10 people. So I'm sure there's a good reason for all of these psychological operations. The only one I'm going to talk about today is Charlie Kirk, but I could talk about a dozen psychological operations over the past 5, 6 years alone. There's been a lot of them, just one right after another. Maybe George Floyd, yeah. BLM, yeah. All these psychological operations, just what are they designed for? They're designed to move you. Palantir, the fear of Palantir, all these psychological operations designed to move the needle politically or socially or what have you. I'm not saying those things are bad. In many cases, they might even be necessary. I don't know how to run a country like America. Somebody's got to know what they're doing. I would hope. I would hope somebody knows what they're doing. They probably do. They probably do, but we don't need to worry about these psychological operations. You identify something as a psychological operation and you're like, okay, that doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm a weirdo. I'm a shaman. I'm awakened. I'm more conscious. I'm healing. I've worked enough on my ego issues that I can take my chess pieces off the board and say, I'm not going to play anymore. And even as I say these things, like calling things a psychological operations, people might have a complete come apart. They might go, oh no, Patrick, no, these things are real. These things really happen. I'm a shit bitch. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know. The only thing I know is what I see on the internet. And here, there's one thing that people say happened, but I saw live streams from people who were at a certain event and it looked fake. It looked staged with fake blood and everything. Kind of like how this Charlie Kirk thing looked staged and there was no blood. And there were like, where did all the blood go? Did he get ensanguinated by a vampire at the moment of impact? What the hell happened to all that blood? I know people are full of blood. I mean, I've seen footage. I watch a lot of body cam videos. They're exciting to watch. And I'm glad I'm not drinking or using drugs anymore. Glad for that. But it's entertaining to watch about. And then when people get shot, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood no matter how they get shot. But with Charlie Kirk, it was this miraculous thing where there was just no blood anywhere, no blood at all. And all these weird videos. I don't know what the purpose of it is. Part of me is like, did he fake his death? Did they fake his death? So because somebody was going to kill him anyway? Like what? I don't know. It's not for me to know. It's for me to withdraw because it's leaky. It steals my energy. It steals my focus. I was so distracted by that Charlie Kirk shit that I completely forgot that I have a job to do, which is be a shaman, be helpful to other people. But what could I really even find out about it except for the ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh? What other assassinations were psyops? Oh, maybe all of them? But the point of all of this is just being done with it all, just being done. Oh, you want to run a psychological operation on people? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be from the outside looking in. I'm not going to have an opinion on that psychological operation. It might be designed to scare me. It might look very scary, like a certain viral psychological operation several years ago or 5 years ago. It might make you fearful. But see, the best way to control people is through fear. If you can scare somebody, you can make them do whatever you want them to do. Quit their job. Never leave their house. Don't associate with other people. Yeah, if you can scare some people, you can control them. But everybody knows that. Like that fear-mongery spiritual teachers will scare you. You must be afraid. And I'm like, you don't have to be afraid of shit. Nothing serious is going on. But Patrick, what if something serious happens? Don't you want to be prepared? I'm like, Well, yeah, but at the same time, I want to live my life today. I don't want to cower in fear over stuff. I don't want. I'm not an investigator. I'm not an FBI agent. I'm not at. Can we just leave that shit to them? Do you really think that our country is so far gone that our own intelligence agencies are working against us, or is that a psyop? You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? You hear all these horror stories of of the FBI, and you never stop to wonder, maybe these people actually did something. Maybe they actually did something. Like, I'm just going to throw this out there. Look at our good friend Whitney Webb and all the fear mongering she does about mass surveillance. Well, what if Whitney Webb had done something and she fled the country? Maybe it was something on her husband's computer. I don't know. So maybe this whole song and dance she does is a private, personal psychological operation to explain why she had to flee the country. That they're gonna plant evidence on my laptop. So, like, come on, read between the lines, see through it. Maybe she was hired by a foreign government to talk shit about Palantir because Palantir makes things run better and are stronger. Like, see through this shit. Come on. Whitney Webb is not a patriot. She doesn't care about America. She hates America. She hates it. She gets freaked out over people wanting to save America. She says, be afraid, be afraid. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It don't ever come. It don't ever come. Much like a preacher that says the rapture is coming and it doesn't come. It doesn't come. The rapture won't come because the rapture has already happened to awakened people, to spiritually awakened people. We were raptured. Mine happened in 2013. When did yours happen? When did your rapture happen? It happens for everybody. It's not just for Christians. It's not. So other psyops, and you can have a very dark day and realize that everything is a psyop. Everything is a psyop. Oh my God. Nothing is real. Nothing is true. Nothing on a screen is. Nothing on a screen is real or true. Unless it's a video conference and you're talking to somebody that you know is real. But even then, pretty soon, you may not know that. Wouldn't that be funny if in the future, like, I was seeing clients that were AI and I didn't know they were AI and they didn't know they were AI? And I thought they thought I was AI. I might have clients who think I'm AI in the future. I love it. I love it. I love it. You won't be able to believe anything. And that's the purpose of the big granddaddy psychological operation being ran by God right now. There is a big psychological operation being ran by God. They talk about it in A Course in Miracles. A little bit of Law of One, too. I want to talk about it now. You're supposed to eventually wake up to your own guidance signal. We call it obey your own signal. Obey your own signal. What do you like? What do you want? What have you been told to like? What have you been told to want? Now, let me share this with you. I love the book It by Stephen King. I love that book. I read it when I was 14 years old, maybe 13. I read it when I was really young and I loved it. I loved it then and I love it now. But in the movies and in the miniseries, Pennywise is a major player in all of this. Oh, I forgot to say, in the book, Pennywise rarely shows up. When he shows, it's sporadic. Pennywise is not the focus of the book. It is the focus. The book focuses on the trauma and the bullshit the kids had to go through from their parents. The book It is really, I think, about trauma and childhood trauma. And the book took place in the 50s during the first child period, and in the 80s for the adult period. And it was the it in my mind is the trauma. It's trauma. But in the movies, it takes this concept of this clown, and he's all over the movies, and in the miniseries. The miniseries, I would say, is probably creepier than the modern It movies. And I know the book. My husband has not read the book, but he's familiar with the story. And we watched the first movie, and then we watched the first episode of the series, and I just think the whole thing is hokey. I think it's hokey. I think it's silly. It's not the movie that I would make or want to see about it. That for there to be a really faithful adaptation of it, the scariest shit in the book It is what the parents do to their kids. That's the fucking scary shit in It. The monsters are not as scary. And I think that that's why those kids survived, because by the time the monster showed up, it was like, this ain't real. This is fake fear. This is fake. It's not real. And I think those kids survived because the entity, It, tried to make them think that something was real. And anybody who died in that book, if they believed it was real, they would die. Essentially. And the most horrifying part of the book, the end, is not in the movies. And I'm not going to spoil that, but the most horrifying, and it's not the orgy scene. It is it's the part about, well, I'm not going to tell you. You'll just have to read the book. That's one of the best books in American literature. It's examination of childhood trauma. Now, here's the thing let me talk about that orgy scene. These children in this book, they were 11 years old, and the girl, to reconnect them, she decides to have sex with the other boys. And it was very controversial. It's still controversial, but you have to realize that Beverly, the girl, had been sexualized by her own father at that point. She felt like the only way to communicate with another person or a man was through sexuality. And people are just like, oh, that's so gross, that orgy scene. Like, you don't understand. Like, this is shit that goes on. Kids get abused in this way, and it's horrible. I myself was probably abused in that way. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's horrifying, but that's more horrifying than a cosmic entity. Because those of us who've gone through that Lovecraftian shit from really sick alcoholic parents, woo, Pennywise ain't nothing but a thing, chicken wing. It's like, oh my God. It's a malevolent, shape-shifting clown. Oh my God. Which pales in comparison to being left on the side of the road by your father who didn't like your tone. That's pretty scary for a kid. That's pretty scary for a kid. So Pennywise, like, oh my God, it's a monster. Ah! So I bring all this up is that the stuff that you're scared of that's on screens pales in comparison to the stuff that's going on in your real life. And this might be the tragedy to all psychological operations. They are designed to get you to believe something for someone else's benefit. Oh my God, Patrick. Oh my fucking God, Patrick. How dare you reveal that to people? How dare you? So if you were raised by alcoholics, you've already undergone a psychological operation. an operation designed for you not to trust your feelings or believe your own eyes. And I think people who have healed from this and grown from this, we don't fall for psychological operations anymore. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. But see, I'm out of Plato's cave. I know people who are still in Plato's cave. They're still chained up. They're like, oh yeah, look at all these shadows on the wall. Patrick, do you see all these shadows? And I'm like, those shadows aren't real. And they're like, fuck you. You don't know anything about reality. As they're hanging by their wrists from chains with their feet dangling down. They don't even have their feet on the ground, but we have our feet on the ground. We've been outside of Plato's cave. We've seen reality for what it actually is. The people in the cave are scared of Pennywise. The people outside of the cave, we've made friends with with cosmic entities. We've broken the identification with the mind. So don't call us crazy because we can see through bullshit. Don't call us crazy. We are not the crazy ones. We are not the crazy ones. I want to talk about that how they were during the BLM days when they were saying to chant the names of people who had been slain by cops or whoever. They would say her name, say his name, like it was a damn Candyman horror movie. I'm like, are y'all doing necromancy now? Like, what is this about? Yes, there's a strong occult element in psychological operations. That's why it's called occulted. Occult. There is a strong element, and I'm not about spilling the secrets on that. I will leave that to my good friend Gigi Young. She does a wonderful job of breaking it all down for people about how there's magicians in control of this entire thing. But if you know that people are trying to control you, can you really be controlled? Can you? What can they actually do to you? Kill you? Well, that's not going to work, because if they kill people, their spirits are going to come back and want revenge. So no person who wants to control you will kill you, because that'll just open up a whole other nest of problems for them. And they can say, well, I don't believe in that. Well, so, good luck. Good luck in not believing that. Because I can tell you, in past lifetimes, I've killed people. They let me have it in this lifetime. Shit you go through in life here is usually revenge for something you did in your past life. And so they say people want to be immortal. They just want to live forever. Well, good luck with that. Because at some point you live long enough, and all these spirits that you fucked over and you lied to and you cheated and you stole from, they're going to be in your bedroom, in your face. You'll be if you live to be like 150 years old, and all the people you hurt unconsciously or whatever, you won't even be able to get any sleep. These ghosts will just be around you. You're supposed to die and go into a new life. Otherwise, you'll just be ate up with all these spirits. Just ate up. So nobody wants to be immortal. Why would you want to be immortal? I mean, I like the form that I'm inhabiting right now, but at the same time, I got other shit to do as well. So I'm going to live this life to completion, and then I'm on an MTFO, and that stands for move the fuck on. Move the fuck on. Move the fuck on from psychological operations. Move the fuck on from the news and information and media. Move the fuck on from Facebook. Facebook is where psychological operations can really take root and really just spread like motherfucking wildfire. Like a mind virus or a Wetiko or something. But if you understand that the purpose of a psychological operation is to control you, when you see it for what it is, the people that create these psychological operations, they know that not everybody's going to buy them, but they know that enough people are going to buy them that they'll make life hell on the people who don't buy them. Wear your mask. You are not standing 6 feet apart from me. Oh my God. The Karenization of the culture at that time. Jesus Christ. But see, just like Pennywise, the psychological operations, they may look scary, but if you don't believe they can harm you, they won't be able to. They won't be able to. They won't. I mean, it might be you, the only sane one in the midst of insanity, but be the sane one. But people under the influence of a psychological operation, they can be very convincing. They can be very insistent that you believe what they believe. Because if you don't believe what they don't believe, there's still an area of doubt, and people can't live with doubt. That's probably why the reason I got so interested in psychological operations and understanding the truth behind all of it in the first place. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know what was really going on. And at some point I said, what do I really need to know what's going on? Can I stay in my lane? Can I stay in my lane? Can I let the military do what the military needs to do? Can I let the CS, I don't even know, blah, blah, alphabet soup agencies, can I let them do what they need to do? Can they let me do what I need to do? Can we all just kind of get along and respect each other? And yeah, there might be some things going on behind the scenes that I don't need to know about, but I do know there's a higher order at play. I do know that nothing happens in God's reality by mistake. And I also know that if I look out into the world and I see something disturbing, it's because I'm disturbed. It's my responsibility to not be disturbed, no matter what's going on. And I know that may be inaccessible for many people. Takes a while to get there. It's taken me a while to get there. I kind of actually can't believe I'm there right now. I'm just like, is this true? Am I being truthful here? Am I telling the truth? Yeah, I am. But I've also found that people don't come to me with a bunch of bullshit because I'm putting out this vibration of no fucks given. I don't know what's going on in the world. The last thing I heard that was going on in the world is that Trump was shutting off food stamps. And so you had people going, no kings. And then a month later, they're like, please feed us. Would you please feed us, Daddy Trump? Please don't cut off our food. It's crazy times, isn't it? Absurd. So probably cutting off food stamps is a psychological operation. They're probably not going to do it. But I was on food stamps and I was poor. I lost weight. Food stamps will help you lose weight. So I don't know how people are gaining so much weight on food stamps. I don't know. But I also know there's a lot of fraud in food stamps and stuff. I've had to educate somebody recently. They said there's very little food stamp fraud. And I'm like, honey, people sell their food stamps for drugs. And there's no way to track that. And she said, well, only 1% of fraud. And I'm like, that's what they know about. I'm telling you, I know people who have sold their food stamp cards for drugs. I know this. There are people out there. Oh, when in the 90s, when there were actual paper stamps, I had people offer, when I was on food stamps in 94, I was offered 50 cents for every dollar of my food stamps by people. They knew I had food stamps. They knew I was poor. They offered that shit to me. So you mean it? So it's all a scam. Medicare for all is Medicare fraud. Happy birthday. See, it's all scamular. It's all scams. It's all operations. But everything I said today is designed to get you to your inner knowing, your gnosis. Your gnosis. You can know the truth about something. And you don't have to tell other people about it either. I mean, I see people eating fast food. And I know that it's pre-digested. I know it's ultra processed. I know that they have broken down food to the molecular level and then reformed it into food-shaped pieces so that by the time it gets to your stomach, it's already been digested. So your digestive system doesn't know what the hell to do with puke. You can't eat puke. And that's what I see people doing when they're eating Taco Bell. Oh, that's a vomit burrito. Oh, that's a puke burrito. I'm not going to eat puke. Not anymore. Sometimes when I see people buying certain food items at the store, I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm past that. I'm glad I'm past that part of needing that food, of needing it, of being addicted to it, of craving it. Because all that stuff is designed to addict you. It is. They say there's an obesity epidemic and a drug epidemic and all these epidemics. Well, you got to, if you're tired of all these epidemics, you got to do something about it yourself. I don't drink Flora. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do to not participate in it. You just don't have to participate in it. Sometimes when somebody wants to tell me about something that's going on in the world, I'm like, oh, honey, you have me confused for someone who gives a shit. How could you not care what's going on in the world? I do care what's going on in the world. That's why I don't pay attention to it, because I don't want to add any more fear to it. Because when you start paying attention to stuff and you add fear to it and you try to eliminate it, it makes it worse. They did this with drugs and homelessness and obesity and single mothers and all this stuff that they try to end makes it worse. So your attention to it makes it worse. And can we tell activists to shut the fuck up? We don't need activism anymore. We don't. Everybody can take care of themselves. Because any time some government agency or some activist agency has tried to help me, it's made it worse. Made it way worse. Why? Because there's too much ego involved. You involve the ego in anything, it's going to fuck it all up. It's going to fuck it all up. So I've ranted a lot in this episode. Some of you like it when I do this, but I'm telling you, I'm done with psychological operations. I'm done. And now that I've said that, there's going to be a psychological operation that's going to tempt me back into caring about it. So we'll see if I can be a man of my word on this. I'm letting you know I am done with psychological operations. I'm done with them, and maybe you are too. Thank you for joining me today. I want to highlight our new album, You Want to Be Enlightened. And this episode is coming out on Halloween. Today is the last day you can get the digital deluxe album for free by entering the code I am at checkout on concreteshamans.com. Please don't miss this opportunity. And now let's listen to a song from that album. I love you so much. Bye-bye.
Reality is real, it doesn't bend. It keeps on being without an end. Don't lose your mind when the stories grow. Most of it's noise you don't need to know. Stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even know how to feel? What's real? Come dressed up as fact, whispering tales to pull you back. But if you're quiet and if you wait, the real thing speaks, it doesn't shout. Hey, stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even want to heal? What's real? What's real? What's real? What's fake? The soul or a life to take. The heart is shallow or it can be deep. Lies that sound true might be easier Are you ready for it to arrive? No need to panic, no need to fight. The real is steady, the real is light. Open your ears, open your eyes. The real won't trick you, it never lies. Stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even know the deal? Do you even know the deal? What's real? What's real? Are you ready for the real? Are you ready to feel? The truth unfolds like a flower, and then you stand in the infinite power of what's real. What's real?